Hi, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and I'm going to be coming to you today with a quick open reading. I know it's been a few days, but I've been extremely busy with the Akashic Records readings, and those do take a bit of time and concentration. Um, a few of you that are waiting for your consultations, I will be contacting you starting today via email, and then we will just go from there. For those of you who may be interested in Akashic Records readings, please know that the consultation is only to determine whether or not I can access your records. Sometimes I'm not able to get into people's records. So that's why I offer the consultation. It is basically just to see what your challenges are and if I can access your records. So it is a free 15-minute phone consultation, after which if I can, get into your records, I find out if I can, then we move forward from there. Um, let's see. We got Mercury is going into retrograde. We are in the shadow phase, but I think it goes retrograde on the 19th and will continue until, I forget exactly when, January something. And then we go into the shadow direct phase. So it's going to last, this period is going to last from December 3rd to January 27th or 28th. And that's a long time for us to be dealing with Mercury, particularly over the holidays when people are trying to travel, their communication glitches, bad weather. Try to have your plan A, B, C, and D if possible. Do expect delays, glitches, hitches, lost emails, confusion. It doesn't mean you have to stop living. It just means that, you need to be a bit more flexible and able to kind of think on your feet. So we're going to bring a general reading today. This is for no specific time frame. We do have some uh, very rare transits of Uranus um, that will be happening around Christmas time. Uranus is waking up. It is about to go direct. It will be starting direct motion on December 29th. So it's going to be doing some things. Uranus is all about those sudden, unexpected events that happen. This isn't always, it's that tower energy, and it's not always something that is as well as the full energy. Well, what do you know? Um, so let's not try to second guess because depending on where Uranus falls in your astrological chart, in what house and in what sign, and what aspects, I think there's going to be some transits, Uranus to Saturn also, and that would be like where you've been stuck in a certain area. Suddenly, a situation may come about where, you know, things are going to start to move forward. I think there's also a transit of Uranus and Jupiter, sudden luck, sudden windfalls, and depending on, how you're looking at luck. And I think also Uranus to Venus. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it's two major transits, and I can't remember exactly which one. So Uranus, I think, has been retrograde since June or July, maybe the end of July, and it is starting to awaken. Some of you may already be feeling that energy, um, kind of like something's coming, you just don't know exactly what that could be. Well, join the club. There it is. Look. All right, so this is not for any particular sign, uh, sun, moon, or otherwise. No particular time frame. We're just going to open the cards and see what they have to say. So here we go, 9 cards down. I do have the Angel Answer cards. I do have the Sibyllus here, and they also have the Impressionist Tarot. So, we have a Uranus in Aries, and it has been retrograded in Aries since it went retrograde back in June or July. I'm speaking of that because I have this Queen of Wands who has shown up. And there will be a square of Uranus in Aries against Jupiter in Libra. Well, there's Jupiter. And then we have these swords here representing our air signs. Well, look at there. Eight of Wands. Something's coming. Now I have these two queens here. Let me give you the cards. Welcome all new subscribers to the diehards. Thank you for sticking around. I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana in the spread. And the major arcana take more weight. They hold more weight and more sway over the reading as opposed to the pip cards, which would be our numbered cards here. The 3 major arcana, well, let me give you the 9 cards. The Queen of Wands, the Devil, the Knight of Swords, the 5 of Coins, the Queen of Swords, there she is, the 6 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the 2 of Swords, and the Hierophant. And he represents Venus and the sign Taurus. So I have a fire sign, an earth sign, and if I wanted to say 2 earth signs here. Well, in terms of the pip cards, I have a fire and an air. With the 3 major arcana, which is quite striking the way that the cards fell, because they form this triangle here. Triangles represent 3s. They also represent perfection, grace, protection, mind, body, and spirit, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. They are read past, present, future, and the interplay of the cards. Right in the center, I have this Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords, this is going to be whether for same-sex or heterosexual. If you're single, if you're in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, if you're looking for a relationship, if you're leaving a relationship, if you're trying to find a relationship, it's just going to be general, okay? Let me grab, if I can, I don't know if I have them here. I've kind of been working. I don't have them here. So if you will give me a moment, I'm going to try to see if I can find my other deck of Sibylla's. 1 second. I've been working back and forth between my living room here and my bedroom. So 1 second. Hopefully I can put my hands on the other deck. I can't seem to lay my hands on the Endovenas. It's so cold outside today. We woke up and it was like 70 yesterday, and now it's like 30 outside. I don't know what that has to do with anything. It's extremely windy out today. I do not know where my Endovenas are. Well, and I don't have time to. Have you seen them little stinky dog? Hello? Have you seen my cards? I know you have them. Okay, we'll just go without them. That's so odd. Okay, so we'll just go without them. Anyway, right in the center, that's just strange. Right in the center, I have this Queen of Swords. She's going to represent an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and or Libra. But she will also, the energy of the Queen of Swords is someone who um, is a communicator, who can sometimes be extremely blunt and very, very straightforward. But typically, what she says always has a ring of truth to it. She can be someone who's very objective and analytical, not a very emotional person. However, the history behind this card is typically that this is a type of individual who, throughout her life, perhaps has suffered a lot of pain and hurt, and so has kind of built up these walls around herself, so she can come at you or say things to you um, that will be quite cutting, but there's always some level of truth in it. So the warning with that card is you can be honest and tell people the truth, but you can also do it with kindness as well. Now, typically, she's going to represent someone who may be a lawyer, she may be an editor, a writer, a publisher, anything to do with communications of that sort. This person, this energy can even represent that of a judge. All right. We do have female judges. So this is our focus in the center. So it is this Queen of Swords. And if it is not a air sign female, then it could even be a male as well too. Someone who communicates emotions in a rather blunted or stilted way, same way as the female. We do know that we are all capable of embodying both male and female energies at different times. So anyway, she's at the center. This card could also say that if you are in the midst of something and you need to find a counsel, someone to advise you, what you want are the qualities of this queen, who's someone who's going to just kind of be no nonsense and it's going to give it to you straight. But you can trust that whatever advice or counsel that she's giving you will be truthful and you can trust it. Okay. Now, at the top, I have the Queen of Wands, fire sign. She's going to be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarian. Typically, this is someone who is passionate, friendly, highly sexual, can be a bit impulsive, quick to anger. Typically, this will represent a woman who has a great love for her friends and family, but also she's a great business person. She's a real go-getter. We can see that she's attached here with this devil energy. Now, we have Mars in Capricorn. Aries is ruled by Mars. And Mars in Capricorn kind of brings a stable, Capricorn is an earth sign, so it brings a stable energy to this fire. So in other words, this could be someone who's been acting quite impulsively, and that impulsive nature, maybe it's quick to anger, maybe it's walking away from things too suddenly, because as we can see down this past vertical, there's some kind of loss associated with this queen. Now, whether or not this queen has created this loss herself or she herself has walked away from something, we do have this feeling of isolation and loss here. It is a Five of Pentacles. This represents Mercury in Taurus. Mercury is a quick energy, whereas Taurus is a very slow, fixed energy. So this could be either someone wanting to, Mercury always rules communications and travel, so we're going to assign that as movement. So this could either be someone trying to move ahead too quickly, or their ideas, or trying to push their ideas on someone ahead too quickly, and they're not being received well because the person on the other end here that is in the Taurus energy is not moving so fast or does not think at the same pace. And we see that there was a change that came about here with that. This Wheel of Fortune. Now, we do know that what goes up must come down, and what has been down will eventually right itself and come back up. But what's most interesting is this devil that sits at the top. And the devil, to me, it reads like a block. It reads as though this queen, because she's looking at the devil, um, maybe either trying to assess whether or not someone else is blocking her, okay, or whether or not it is her own demons that she's fighting. We do see that there are two people at the base of the devil. Now, this could be about maybe wanting to return back to a situation. Um, it could also indicate three people in a situation. And I say that because I have the two people at the base of the devil, the two people at the base of the Hierophant, the three people in the boat. Here I see a child, and what we could say that's a child, a woman and a child. Some people say that's actually the woman and her husband who has been injured. And this is one of the reasons why they are out in the snow. This can also be a card about being so wrapped up into your own misery or issue or loss or whatever it is that you end up walking by help. You're passing up something that perhaps can aid you in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to pull cards on this devil because it's the devil represents limitations, karmic relationships, addictions, fears. It is the Saturn energy, and Saturn is all about fear. He is about, it's not a no, it's typically a not yet, because there are some things that Saturn requires you to do first before he will. He always teaches very, very hard lessons. I do know that we are coming to the end of Saturn and Sagittarius. And this could be exactly what the cards are speaking about. They're only presenting themselves as a female energy and the devil here. So this has been about, can have been about, trying to build something, but Saturn requires that you do it very, very slowly. Why? Because he wants it to stand the test of time. This can trigger fears, insecurities, self-sabotaging behavior, nightmares, slipping back into old patterns of behavior, falling back into the same types of relationships that you've been having with people, and or having the same relationship with yourself. Now, we can see here that the Knight of Swords has come in, and this represents Gemini. And because the Knight of Swords represents the energy of neighborhoods and communities, this could be perhaps someone trying to determine whether or not they wish to return back to a place. If that's the case, we can see that perhaps at some point that place may have been felt as a place of safety, but it no longer was that way. Maybe there was a fallout, somebody was put out, maybe there was a breakup. This card, also one of the old 13th century interpretations, Etiela, is the wife and the mistress or the girlfriend, basically someone that you can depend on in times of trouble. That's not one that we use very often. It is a 5, and as we know in the numerology, 5s speak to changes. Now, these changes can be sometimes outside influences, things that seem beyond your control. And even if that is the case, it is typically not really those things that are happening. It is our behavior towards them and how we go about handling whatever those changes can be. So this could even be some kind of financial issue that's happening here. Maybe someone is thinking about returning back to an ex-partner because they themselves have fallen now on hard times. Maybe they have lost a job. This Wheel of Fortune sits in a very, very prominent place here because it is the last card down on the past vertical column. but it is the future, the first column, sorry, the first card out on the future row. So it sits, basically, it anchors this particular spread here. Um, Perhaps there is some news that has come in, and someone saying, okay, look, I know you're in a bad situation. I'm going to go ahead and ask you if you need help, you can come back and stay. But this Five of Coins here indicates, to me, speaks to some kind of isolation between the two people. You know, even if I would rather not do that if I don't have to. Okay. Now we're looking at this Queen of Swords, and we can see that these two individuals are walking into the Queen of Swords. Now, this could be a legal issue. It could be a legal issue that you're having with someone who may be of a fire sign. Um, I do have the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant speaks to corporations, universities, um, doing the right thing, and social norms. He also speaks to marriages, and those are contracts. And so this could be perhaps two people trying to go or come to maybe some agreement surrounding a contract, or maybe it is, do we get back together or do we don't get back together? Um, in one respect, I feel as though because they're walking into this Queen, this could be the person deciding not to return back, but instead perhaps moving forward with the legal issue. Because as we can see, we have this Six of Swords here, and this is an indication of someone moving away, either physically or psychologically, away from something that was really bad for them. And I would say that yes, in one respect, it could be with the devil. Um, if this is not someone coming in to aid you, as we can see the man in the boat there, then this is kind of the universe trying to move you along. We do see this image of a woman and child in a boat. Now, this could be movement around water, by water, near water, or it could just simply be a passage. It's been very, very rocky, and now things are starting to smooth out. I'm starting to see my way clear or through. I do feel in some respects, because I have a lot of movement in this, I have this knight rushing in. I have these two people walking, albeit they're walking in the snow, but they're still walking. This boat, which is traveling, this can sometimes indicate traveling around the world. So it could be dealing with maybe visas, INS, immigration. It could even be, it may even have to do with traveling for the holidays. That maybe the answer will be found for you if you were able to take a trip back home. What I do see is this Two of Swords here, which is an indication in one respect that someone does not feel that they have all of the information that they need in order to make the best decision, to do the right thing. I do feel that in some respect that is simply the energy of the devil, self-sabotage, fear, afraid to make a decision one way or the other. But typically what happens is when you sit on the fence too long, something comes in and changes it for you anyway. So if it were me, and I were in a particular situation like this, what I would prefer to do is try to put some safeguards in place. And what I mean by that is I would try to look at the best and the worst case scenario. Um, the best case scenario is, if this goes through, if I decide to do this, you know, what are my plans on the other side? The worst case scenario, if I don't get exactly what I want, or if I'm not able to leave, what can I do in order to mitigate this until I can get, you know, get my plans together? Because, and I say that because I think there is something coming in that perhaps will shed some light on this. The reason why I say that is this night. And this knight is kind of charging in. He's charging in. He sits on the vertical future column. He's charging into the devil. I do feel in one respect, and again, this is Gemini. This is communications coming through. Most definitely, it is some kind of news. We see here that it will be some kind of truth. We can say in one respect that she is holding the swords of truth. And if you look at the imagery, she's inviting the truth to come in. Okay, she's actually put her back to whatever this is. And she's like, look, the truth of the matter is that I gotta move on. I have to go. I have to. Or the truth of the matter is maybe there's someone else saying you need to leave. Um, Either way, we're being invited to take a look at um, how do we go about doing this? Because the swords are all about communications, um, perceptions, ideas, beliefs, um, thoughts, and attached to this devil with this five of coins energy. Um, the bottom line with the six of swords is even if you leave, you also take your sword, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your ideas with you. Okay. And it's like you sometimes you can't run away from whatever the truth of the situation is, even though you may try to. And maybe this queen is inviting you to, once you make that transition, to kind of look at whatever it was that you think you felt, you communicated, that you heard, um, whether it was based upon your beliefs. And I do feel in one respect it has something to do with someone's value system. I say that because this is the Hierophant, and he is all about the value system. He sits on the second house of the astrological wheel. This is the house of self-worth, self-possessions, the money that you make on your own. Um, how do you value yourself? Who or what is most important to you? Um, do you feel less than because you don't have a lot of money or the fanciest car or the fanciest house? Do you feel you should be treated fairly, equitably, and equally? Or does someone treat you less than because you don't have whatever? This could even be a value system in terms of the way you feel about the way you look. Um, I don't know why that's coming through, but now, if this is a same-sex relationship issue, I do feel in some respect that it would be two females. Um, Maybe one female is afraid to actually come out and tell her friends and family, community, and neighborhoods exactly uh, how she feels about this other queen here. This card can also represent marriage. Again, we see the two people there. We have the keys, secret knowledge. So I do feel that there's something to be revealed. This could also be about two people in a situation where a third person has come in. I think what's most interesting is that whatever this news is, it comes in quite suddenly and unexpectedly, and it kind of, I keep getting the sensation, it kind of knocks your breath out of you. And it leads to these two fives here. The Hierophant itself is a five. So this would, in one respect, it's going to be a change in someone's status. Now, whether or not this is a change within your work environment, remember, he represents large corporations, universities, the military. Um, I do feel there is another event. It's almost as though two things happen simultaneously. Um, I can see this over here. It's like something really comes into this news, comes in to really, really destabilize a situation. And we're asked to take a look at what we value most. But at the same time, the Wheel of Fortune says, is bringing about something else that I don't feel you know is coming, or that you see is coming. You sense that it's coming. But it could also be that whatever this Wheel of Fortune represents um, could end up stabilizing the situation. Either way, there is some news. Uh, that is coming, and I do feel that there are going to have to be choices made. And it's kind of like a damned if I do, damned if I don't. And the reason why I say that is because these two cards mirror each other. They are the exact same imagery. Here we have the devil in all his baseness, his fear, his debauchery, keeping us chained to that situation. Okay. He is holding up the symbol of secret knowledge himself, but his knowledge is derived from a darker power. We have the two people here chained at the base. Okay. And then we have the Hierophant, who is seated as well, holding up his secret symbol, with the two people at the base, the two acolytes. Here we have a ring, as in bondage, not being able to free ourselves. And here we have the keys. And so kind of what I get is that whatever this choice is going to be, these keys are either going to open the lock here and free you, okay? Or it could simply be that someone decides that they want to choose to stay exactly where they are. You see, for some people, there could be a freedom in being in a committed, stable relationship. Yeah, there's a freedom in that, really. But then for other people, there is the fear that if they get into a committed, stable relationship, it's going to bind them and chain them. And so I think what in the sense that someone says, well, you know, I'm going to stay exactly where I am. The reason how you're going to get through this particular energy is their secret knowledge. There's something that you're there to learn about. Now, the question becomes, this is not to say that if you're in a really, really bad situation, you know, by all means, if you can make a move to get away, then do what you can. We must first protect our own physical safety, um, our emotional and spiritual safety, our mental sanity. This is true. So again, it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And basically what I'm getting is that it's fear. It's really fear. Either someone being afraid to make that move to leave, and or someone being afraid to say yes to whatever. Okay. Um, this could be the commitment, may not necessarily be a marriage. It could be a signing a new contract for a new job. It could be literally you may have to um, move away overseas and sign a contract with a new major corporation, or this definitely speaks to some kind of travel, some kind of change that comes through moving away from one place and going to another. And it's kind of up in the air right now. That would be borne out with the Mercury retrograde. This also represents Mercury in Sagittarius. Okay, so we're looking at a lot of communication and travel energy here. This represents Mercury in Aquarius. This is not allowing your emotions to dictate what you're doing. You're going to do what you have to do, and then you'll deal with that when you get to the other side. This also represents the moon in Leo. Now, I don't remember the last time we had a fire moon. We have the new moon in Sagittarius. I kind of pick up, because Jupiter represents fire. This could go all the way back to earlier in the year when we had the Destiny's Gate in Leo. The time frame for this card is September 23rd through October 2nd. So if that gives any of you some idea, I do feel that this card is speaking to some kind of timing, that this is about to come to a head or has started to come to a head because of the Jupiter in Libra energies here. The Eight of Wands is the card that says, and this, it speaks to air travel. Now, what I'm getting, whenever I see the Eight of Wands show up like this as the overall energy of the spread, it's kind of like things moving, and they're going to be moving at such a fast pace. You know, you may have to get on a plane, and then get on a train, and then rent a car, you know, and then you may have to get on a ferry in order to get to your destination. It's literally that kind of energy. The horse, the boat, the wheel, and the wands. This card represents air travel. It represents messages coming in. Usually, whatever the issue was, this is some kind of news that comes in that will help resolve the situation in a satisfactory manner. But it speaks to something happening quite quickly. The only thing that I really don't like about the Eight of Wands is it's just eight wands flying across an open field. There is no target. So we kind of don't know, but we see that something is coming in quite suddenly, with a lot of passion, a lot of energy. It's going to come in, you know, and depending on where you're standing, you may get like stabbed to death with these eight wands. So this is about, you know, impaled. So this is about, I think, again, speaks to kind of being open and flexible on your feet, because there change is coming in. It ends with the five here. It ends with the five. The devil. It's a 6. It's a 7. This is an 11. Isn't 6 and 5 11? Or is it 13? Hell, I can't add. It's 11. 11. That would be a 2. And this speaks to some kind of harmony coming in. But I think it's after a decision is made to walk away from something. And it almost reads as though the timing wasn't right for this queen here. The timing was not right, but now divine timing has come in now that it's time for them to move. I do feel in some respect that there were perhaps some secrets that this queen was holding. It could be that she had a plan to leave all along, but just never told anybody. I'm also picking up, for some reason, that there's more to the story than what meets the eye here. Okay. But then, you know, the Hierophant can come in to say, well, really, is it worth that? You know, 5 speak to strife, arguments, fights, delays, obstacles, hassles. It is a change energy. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, we're being told quite clearly that whatever this change is, it's time. I just think the Devil reads like fear. It is self-sabotaging thoughts and behaviors. Maybe this is someone thinking that it's never going to change. And in one respect, they may be right, but in another respect, they may be incorrect. The situation may not change for you as it is. You may, in order to change it, you may have to do something to change it, which would mean you may have to leave. In which case, then things will right themselves out anyway. Because what I'm getting from this row is that eventually there is some kind of stability in this moving here. It's a 6 of Swords. You know, if I add these swords in, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a 10 of Swords. So whatever this is, it's time to, it's coming to an end. Perhaps it's natural conclusion. Mostly, I think it's come down to words, perhaps emails, messages, documents. It's like this is the last, and I say that because it's heavily weighted towards the swords with the pip cards. I do have these, I have 3 court cards here. The 2 queens and the knight. And those are the three people. But this night has definitely come in to break up this particular, you know, we have the full moon, I think, in Gemini. I think the full moon is in Gemini. That is on the 14th. Now, I'm not picking up a full moon here. I do have this one little quarter moon in the back. If it would go back to September, October, November, December, 3 quarter moons. It's like I've tried 5 times already. That's what I'm picking up. I've done this 5 times before. I've gone through this 5 times already. You know, and it doesn't appeal to me anymore. And I would rather just take my chances. I'll leave. Perhaps for some of you, this is a bluff. But, you know, be careful bluffing. Oh, interesting. Whenever I see these 2 cards together, that speaks to like Las Vegas. It's like taking a gamble. Sin City. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Taking a gamble. That everything's going to come out okay. Well, sometimes this is a dangerous game, and it could be self-sabotaging. It's just interesting that these 3 cards showed up together. Let me pull cards on this Knight of Swords. He's coming in at a good clip. Now, because this sits in the past, we can see that in one respect, something has already come in. Okay? But is it the announcement that I'm right back where I was? I haven't done, nothing has changed? Or is it, hey, you know, it's time for you to move now? Neighborhoods and communities. Maybe someone feeling stuck where they are, in a literal sense as well. Maybe someone feeling as though they were chained and they could not get away from whatever the situation is. Let's take a look. Well, whatever this was, and we do know that this is news, we can see that there was some arrogance and vanity. Remember I was talking about self-sabotage behavior? Perhaps some illness and depression. The Amalato has come in. With the Disgrazia, the house on fire. Now, this, it really reads to me, the energy is that someone is trying to decide whether or not they're going to return back to a situation or whether or not they're going to just continue. I feel in one respect they've already left, and now the news is coming that they should just go ahead and continue doing that. They should not return backwards. I don't know. I can't say this for certain because everyone has different ways of viewing things. I don't know anyone's personal circumstances, so I don't know. But this is also the Uranus card, the Tower energy. And because this sits at the top of the future column, this is something sudden coming in and changing that situation for you. We can see it here. It is the return of an old cycle. These are the 2 karma cards. You can either continue doing it the same way that you did it before, or you can choose differently. It's up to you. But you're going to have to be willing to accept that whatever it is, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's about doing the right thing. But then it becomes doing the right thing for who or whom. Okay? Now, that was on the Knight of Swords. Let me take a look at what the 5 of Coins is trying to tell us. You know, and these are two different temperaments here. One is icy. I don't mean frigid, but one is more rational, cool, and logic, and one is a hothead. Okay? Um, this could be someone having arguments, the same arguments over and over about the same things over and over again. Alegria. This is family and friends, someone really considering walking away or having been perhaps banished or exiled out from a community in some way, shape, or form. Lechereza. Well, this is the card of sex. Now, that's an interesting thing. Maybe this was a relationship really that was based in sexual desire and finances being the motivations behind it. You know, maybe there's somebody who needs a green card, got a green card, married for a green card. I don't know. I keep getting this foreign thing here. Desperate jealousy. Well, it's interesting. This is someone who has excessive attachment. Maybe this is someone who doesn't want to let another person go. Maybe there is this huge, deep sexual bond between the two of them, and one person doesn't want to let the other one go, even though they've already been exiled. We see that. Either they walked away from that situation or they have been exiled. But perhaps this is someone not wanting to let go of what was between us. These are physical things, the pentacles, okay? The physicality of it. And maybe this is someone coming to the realization that that's just not enough to keep me anymore. Let's look at these Six of Swords here. Then we're going to take a look at I want to look at the Devil. That's really what I'd like to see. Let's look at the Six of Swords. Dilettante, the stupid action, stupid behavior. Well, if you leave, but I'm stupid if I don't. Bambino. Maybe I do have a child here. This would be stupid actions and stupid behaviors over something new or over a child, a young child. And again, the news of a messaggere coming in, news from far away. Now, this doesn't tell me whether it's good news or it's bad news, but it's definitely news about a situation going from bad to or worse to better or bad to good or very volatile to something a little bit more stable. But it doesn't necessarily say that it's bad or good. And I do feel it relates again to someone's home life, because the message, see the house way there in the background? See that? Or the town. Remember, we're talking about neighborhoods and communities here. We would assume that this messaggere, he's walking, so he's got to walk from, you know, around in the town to deliver the news. News that is a long time in coming, I also feel. But it's going to be, look, something very sudden and unexpected. The house is on fire here. That's that Uranus energy. Let's take a look at the Devil. Speranza. Okay, that card equals hope. So do we hope to be chained into something karmic? Well, the opposite of this particular card is apprehension or dream or waiting. Maybe someone's waiting to make their move. Dona Maritata. Now, remember I was saying this is either someone afraid to make the ties or they're afraid to stay within the ties. They're waiting. This is someone waiting. The Doctore. Now, what's interesting is that these two people both provide care in some way, shape, or form. Okay? But also the Doctore is a professional, someone who can help. So this is going to be your doctor, your lawyer, your physician, your whomever, your accountant. This is the woman with children. This is also about having respect for a married woman. But if this is not someone who is married, this just speaks to someone who has the capacity to nurture and care for. Now, I don't know if this is a hope and someone is stuck to that hope. They're chained to that. Okay. Or if it simply means that someone's going to be liberated from this, because this speaks to fear and apprehension. It really, it reads like damned if I do, damned if I don't. Let me take a look at what the Two of Swords, because this is the energy down the center right now, at present. Now, this may be playing out for some of you. It may not resonate at all. For those of you that it does resonate with, you know, some of this may have occurred. Some of it may be coming up. You know, the holiday seasons can put a lot of pressure on people. Cracks started to show in relationships that were not so good, but people tried to fake it just so they can get through the holidays. This could be moving, someone trying to decide if they want to move after the new year. Wow. Fortuna. Two Wheel of Fortunes. Two Wheel of Fortunes. Look at that. Again, it's like there's something coming that you don't see. Let's see what the rest of the cards. It you know, like I said, it depends. If leaving is the best thing for you to do, then, you know, fortune favors the bold. If staying or trying to decide, I don't even know what to tell you about this. Let's see. Allegrezza al cuore, happiness of the heart. You see, even if you have to leave, know that there's something better on the other side. Okay, I think that's what I'm trying to say. L'amante, male, requited love. But it sits on the Two of Swords. Will they or won't they? Will I or won't I? I don't quite know what to do. And again, it could be fear. I'm not going to pull cards on this Wheel of Fortune. What I am going to do is pull a card on this Eight of Wands here. You know, and if this is one female, then this is, oh crap, assume that this is somebody who's gotten a handle on their emotions. They went from someone being impetuous and fiery, perhaps argumentative, independent, used to doing their own thing, and now they've gotten their shit under control. Okay? Maybe that's what it's all about. And that in doing that, there's been some kind of, it's the right thing to do, so to speak. It still tells me that there's something coming. Eight of Wands. Now this speaks to, well, look at there, another queen. How about that? So now there's three queens in the picture. So this could even be about getting together with two other females and starting a business. You know, maybe if you're waiting on a relationship kind of a thing, maybe that doesn't come. But instead, what you get out of the blue is an opportunity to build something else with two other females. Now, this is quite the odd reading. So This could also be about arguments between two queens, okay, over something. It doesn't kind of read like that to me. I just see that there are changes. There are changes in play that have come into play, but there's another change that's coming out of it. One that's going to be a bit more stable. And what's interesting is that this is Taurus. This is Mercury in Taurus. This represents Taurus, and this represents Capricorn. So there's a lot of grounded energy coming in at this particular moment. This is still the fire. So this is something passionately coming in, or something that news that will be coming in, or taking a trip that's going to kind of rev up your passion there. Again, Sagittarius rules people at a distance, foreigners, travel, religion, philosophy, higher education. Sagittarius rules the 10th house. So this could be suddenly you receiving recognition for your work that you haven't been receiving in a long time. It could be really literally the choice of, do I choose home and hearth over chasing after my career? Or do I let this career, because really your career and your success is really what you make it. It may not be a career success for you. It could be a personal success. Only you can determine what that is worth to you. Who or what is most important to you. Most is more than money. Okay, so did I put a card here? No. What I did, didn't I? What was it? No, I didn't. Here we go. The Domestico. Again, it's kind of like, this card is the collaborator. This is also he's a servant. So it's someone that helps as well. And I keep getting these cards of help. But also he could be the man returning. Remember I said for some of you it's like, I gotta leave. Maybe he's faced towards the past. Well, here we have another male, the mercante. He's the businessman. Okay. Now, this could be a message coming in from somebody wanting to go into business with you. Remember I said, maybe this could be like three females going into business together, or their work, but it's one male who may be over them. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it could really be anything. But this is a guy that makes contracts and negotiations. And as you can see, he's got his shit on the shore ready to go. He's just thinking about, how does it, whatever it is, it's going to come fast. One more card. Something that either someone has been dreaming of. Remember, I was just talking about success. This is one of the, if not the, best cards of the deck. This is success achieved after a long time. And again, it could simply be that some offer comes along and you're going to be faced with the choice of whether or not you go ahead and do exactly what it is you've been wanting to do all along, or do you change it to something else and redefine what your definition of success is. So a lot of times we live by other people's definition of what success is supposed to be, when really success is subjective. You can have the biggest house, the nicest car, all the money in the bank, and have rotten kids, rotten family, rotten friends, not being able to trust whether people like you because they like you, or because they like you because you have money. You could be all alone with no one to share those things with. And then you could be on the other side of the coin where, you don't live in the fanciest place. You're driving a hoopty, and instead of having lobster and steak once, a month, your big meal may be something like baked chicken with mashed potatoes and green beans, but that you can count on your friends. That those people who are there because they love you and they care about you. So, there's always the flip side to everything. And these cards, can you see that? Can you see that? These cards, are really saying, if you get an opportunity to do something different, don't allow your fear to perhaps You may miss the opportunity for something really, really wonderful. You know, if you're being offered a job position where, you know, the pay, you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, you know, I never dreamed I'd be offered this amount of money for something. It could be you're selling a business, you know, and then you balk at it. You get afraid. Well, don't. Isn't that what you've been working for? Then it's a new chapter. You have fortune coming in. And if it's somebody, if you guys, you know, if you're a single woman out there and you've been working hard, that just may free you up to find that love you've been waiting on. Whatever it is, it's like it's a twofold story. Let's see what the angel answer cards have to say. In other words, be patient. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Well, there you have it. I hope those messages help. Um, and until next time, that's a very interesting reading. And until next time, namaste.